Yes, my viewers and subscribers, it is official. I am throwing my hat in the ring for West Indies lead selector. Yes, I am even dressed for the occasion. But then again, I might get the spot and select a squad of only Jamaicans. Who to tell? That seems to be the trend. So if I get it, I might select a lot of straight Jamaicans. 18 players from Jamaica. Anyways, I have a couple of stories to talk to you all about before I have to rush out of here. So, Michael Holding, he spoke about the barrage of bouncers that were bowled in the second test match between Australia and England. And, he was basically saying nobody is going to have a problem with it because it's not the West Indies team. And we know the history of West Indies and bowling short pitch deliveries from the 80s coming up, from the 70s to the 80s, and how they had to change the rule because of that. So I'm going to share Michael Holding's opinion here, and also I'm going to be talking about my test squad to take on India. So a couple days ago, I gave my first draft, and I said that I can change, I would probably adjust the squad. So on the last live show that I did, somebody was asking about the test, the players that I would select. So once again, I'm going to give you that squad, and I probably have two addition to that same squad. So you can call it the second draft. So let us just kick things off with Michael Holding's information here. Taking this one from a website called Crick Today. This is Michael Holding, and I quote, "At no point in my West Indies career have we bowled bouncers for hours on end," right? Like this. So he's saying at no point in his West Indies career did him alongside his teammates, would have bowled bouncers like that for hours non-stop. He went on to say, "Do you believe this technique will cause a serious controversy now?" He went on to say, "The teams are England and Australia and not the West Indies. And we know that this is coming from the 70s and the 80s, as I said, when we have when we used to use the four-prong attack, and they had to change the rule because of that." Let me just give you some more information. So it says the West Indies back then later adopted a bodyline attack, leading to a law change in the 1935. They say in the late 70s. Well, in the late 70s and 80s. Concerns were raised about West Indies' frequent use of bouncers and slow over rates. So we know about the rules from in the 1930s, but they had to change it in the 70s and the 80s because of how the pace that our bowlers were bowling at and the short pitch deliveries, and they couldn't handle it. The Australians, the English players, they found it difficult to deal with. You understand? And they had to change that. Now we see where those who watch the second test match of the Ashes would have seen what I'm talking about. Where the bowlers, every over they went at it. They probably were not bowling as quickly as our bowlers in the 70s, 80s did. But as Michael Holding is saying, there isn't going to be a problem because it's actually Australia and England that are playing. And I would like to say, probably he's trying to say they were the crybabies. Or they are the crybabies. So, once it's something that's not affecting them, they won't have a problem with it. Once they are the ones using it, it's quite okay. You see, I tell you, my viewers and subscribers, I am so happy when Michael Holding is up and about and talking about cricket. Haven't heard him in years. Since he retired I think it was 2020, if I'm not mistaken, 2021. Since he retired from commentating, we have hardly heard him, and these are the type of people that I listen to. You understand? I like to listen to people that talk it as it is and don't sugarcoat it. And, as I said, it's always good to listen to somebody like a Mikey, and that is what he's saying here. At no point in time they would have used this sort of strategy back then in the 70s, 80s, where they bowl for hours, bouncers for hours, non-stop. And when we say bouncer for hours, we're not talking about 6 bouncers in an over, because we know that cannot work. But we would have seen the guys the other day, bowling 1, 2 per over, and every over, they have it in there, every over. You understand? Man is saying that wasn't the case back then, and they had to change it. But now, it's not going to be a problem because it's England and Australia. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you all think Michael Holding is spitting the hard cold facts, or do you think he's still thinking about back then when he alongside his teammates weren't able to fire in the bouncers as often as they wanted? All right, moving on, and this one is gonna be quick. So last week I gave you guys a test squad and I said it was just a draft. Quite a few people agreed. Some people say it's a reasonable squad. Some say that I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so I had Brathwaite, Shonda Paul, Blackwood, Alec Arthanes, King, Holder, Kyle Mayers, Moti, Joseph Da Silva, Roach, Akeem Jordan, Drakes, Kevin Sinclair, and Carty. Two of the names that people had an issue with was Drakes and Carty. But we had them over there in Bangladesh, so I would keep them in the squad. And the thing is, it's a home squad. We're not traveling. I mean, they're still gonna have to cater for them. But it's a home squad, so I would keep the squad, keep a good enough size squad. They're probably going to cut it down to a 15-man squad, but I would, I am talking about an 18-man squad here. Now, after a couple days has passed, and I have actually added 2 people. One person that should have been there was Kirk McKenzie. I didn't call his name. I think it was Sheldon that pointed it out that I didn't call him, but Kirk McKenzie definitely would be there. So those are some of the people. I hear some say that we are recycling players, but this test series against India, the fact that most of these players went to Bangladesh, that is why I have some of them there, most of them there. And this test match against India, this test series against India is where I am going to finally draw the line on some of these players. But we can't just cut the entire team like that. We have to phase it out. So you notice I have people like Alec Arthanes and Brandon King, right? And these guys, they haven't played test cricket before. So that's what we're looking at. So so Akeem Jordan, youngster, Sinclair, these guys are youngsters in the squad. So a couple of the guys that I am phasing out, they're going to be there for this series. And as I said, the 2 additions to the squad that I named a couple days ago would be Kirk McKenzie and Jaden Seals. Now I hear that Jaden Seals is fit and ready. Jaden Seals is also there. The West Indies training squad that is going on, I am going to be paying attention to that. If the players are able to complete and everything and they are fit, then I'll be willing to change out a couple of them. We probably can find a little space for when I'm naming the final squad based on the players that are assembled. I probably would find room for somebody like a Gabriel, depending on his fitness. Don't know if he's fit. You understand? So that is basically it for this one, my viewers and subscribers. Gonna leave it right here for now. Hopefully later on, if time allows, I will be able to touch base again. Sports to the bone, keeping it informed. Big up.